Hey guys, so checking back, I've actually been doing the event for, well, since I posted the last video essentially. I'm at 5.5 million points. I actually already have the anal armors. I grabbed a few of the rupture beams too so that I can play around with fits. So this is actually going to be one that I was kind of a little bit surprised that I could get what I could get into what I fitted up. And I would suggest you guys take advantage of this time too. I'll give you guys an idea here real quick. So this is the one that I'm building now. I just started at 9 days, 9 hours. So that's with the 20% discount. So you're probably looking at a little over 2 days cut off of that. That's not bad, especially considering you're at, over 1,000 DPS. I just ran a base, a really simple base annihilator build that I can add to later. I didn't put any armor on it because this almost maxes it out at 11,000 mass. There's not enough room for any armor, not enough room for any more weapons, but that's okay because hopefully you guys have something such as a Punisher. It doesn't even have to be a Mark III or a high mark with Xeno disintegrators. Just Punishers and disintegrators are really all you need. I think for these Reapers are actually not hard at all. I'm hitting the 85s and 90s. And I figured I'd do an opening video. That's right, all of these boxes are just recently collected Annihilator 2 and Annihilator Mark 3s. So I'm going to go ahead and open all these. So you see I got 2 Mark 3 patterns, 2 Mark 2 patterns, 89 parts. So that's actually almost, let's see, yeah, that's enough to make 2 Mark 3s, 38 battleship cores, so that's a little off. I only need maybe, let's see, for 2 Mark 3s, I need, 20 of those? So I have almost twice as many battleship cores as I need. But these armaments, these will actually help a lot. Because I'm still building, I'm still marking up my Punishers, so I can always use the armaments, antimatter, whatever, that's like nothing. But that's a lot of cores, man. And the parts aren't bad. I can use them later when they start giving us Mark 4 and 5 pattern boxes, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting those. I'm going to continue getting them. I'm going to keep doing the event. Really, all I spent was maybe 300 coins repairing once. My fleet's still out there, so definitely consider build something similar to that build that I made there. A little lag there, but to this build, not for necessarily for fleet versus fleet, at least not right now. I think later it might actually be a contestant against Punishers. I think a lot of Punisher fleets will run away, but again, battleship fleets will just tear this up. So it's a two-sided sword, but Punisher fleets will run away from this because you're looking at 1,000 DPS. If I put 2 more on there, I get it to Mark 4, and I put a third one on there, you're looking at 1,600 DPS out one side of this thing. So potential for one ship to have more DPS than our fleets even had a year ago, so that's just crazy to me. But yeah, so just a quick update on how the event's going. If you guys want to see, I'm literally just, I attack. Oh, one other suggestion: if you're going for boxes, you got all the points you need, hit the 88s for Mark 3s. This is the lowest level that gives you a Mark 3 box, and then hit the 80s. Stick to the 80s. Because these are the lowest level that gives you Mark 2 boxes. So if that's what you're looking for, that's where I would hit. Okay, guys. So to kind of continue on to what I was alluding to with the Annihilator with the new Rupture beam. I've been looking at my build for a minute now, and I've been kind of considering it. I actually have to take back some of what I said in my original video about me saying, I think I don't think it's going to be as good as popular. I actually am starting to rethink that just because of the amount of DPS that you can get out of it. I think at Mark 2 and Mark 3, which are already available shortly to even guys who aren't coining, I think that's one of the greatest things Kixeye has done in a little while. If you guys think back to how hard it was to mark up your Hellfires after we first got them, if you didn't buy the coin package, it was next to impossible. I swear we went months without getting any Hellfire materials offered anywhere. So with that in mind, you kind of have to look back at it and ask yourself, is this what look at philosophy of use for the fleet. What am I going to be fighting with it? What is going to kill this fleet? Is there anything that can kill this fleet? Right now, the biggest issue that I ran into running Mark III Punishers during this last Civil War was fighting other Punishers. They had the same DPS that I have, but they had more armor. It was a numbers game. They had more armor. They had more and they had more resistance. So because of that, they were able to actually just obliterate my fleet. They still took damage, a lot of damage. They didn't get away scot-free, but they won based on the numbers game. And going back to this fit right here, I still have about 500 empty mass. So at Mark II, which isn't going to be hard to get to, you have 2 days of research and who knows how much build time. I'm not going to coin those. Big shock, I'm not that big of a coiner. I don't coin research. I seldom coin builds. I used to coin builds a lot. Sometimes I will. I coin them when they matter. But you look at these 2 empty slots at Mark III with 10% decrease in mass, which you will get with a mark upgrade, and then 10% more mass. That's 20%. You can fit at least one more gun on there. 20% of this, you can fit that. That's taking one of these guns away and putting it on there. If you were to put it on there, essentially they would have the same mass on this hull right here. So that's big. You're looking at 1200 DPS. You're gonna have less health, but more DPS than the Punishers have, which is a big deal. It kind of is something that I do think may make the Annihilator a little better. I think with the decreased range, I still think that Kixeye is going to give us a little bit more range at some point. I think they need to make this range, even if it was 3,000, I think that would be plenty. I think 2750 is too short. The whole reason that they did what they did to the Arrestor Beam was because it essentially made it null and void. But I do think that by making these Mark III, if you push through this event, get a bunch of these, make a Mark III, I think that it will kind of be the weapon that if you don't get it later, a lot of people are going to be disappointed. Now, we still have to wait to see what they release with the Xeno weapon. The thing about the Xeno weapon is consider your resistances. Right now, just base, you have 40% resistance against alien damage type. So even if it's 200%, a 200% markup against these, which is what it's like with the Xeno cluster missiles, you got 200 to 400 DPS roughly. You gotta knock 40% of that off right away if you're fighting other Xeno ships, which I think we will see a lot more Xeno ships above level 55 in the near future. And I think that anything above level 70 is always going to attract these kinds of fleets. It's going to attract Punishers, it'll attract Decimators, it'll attract Annihilators. So that's what I think you will be seeing. So what I'm getting at is, yeah, you're going to be knocking this down. People will probably have a resistance to this on Annihilators. Some people probably won't even run them. There will probably be your people out there who just fit a lot of tank to this and then fit VF with maybe, something else, and then even cargo holds, who knows, but VF with net and vector. I'm sure you'll see those guys too. But you have to consider the damage types that you're going to be looking at in resistance. And I really, really strongly think that this is still going to be competitive, because the most you're going to be able to get on an Annihilator, you're going to have to be rocking, armor and maybe an energy resist in order to get, the same kind of resistance you're going to get on the alien resist. Yes, the Xeno weapons will still do, they will still be really competitive, and people are probably going to be going and stripping their Punishers and throwing Eno on where they had XL, or maybe even running a mix, which is what I would do. That's the smart way to do it, I think, is run a mix of your armors, mix your resistances. But kind of consider, do you want that? You're probably gonna have 2+, maybe 3, even 4-day, build times like we've seen on Crate. I'm just speculating here. I haven't heard anything. I haven't read anything about it on the forums. But think of the build times. Think of what you can get right now and fit to these guys. That's going to make them deadly, because as they are right now, when they were released, they just weren't as good. I think this is going to be a strong choice. I'm definitely going to get all of them. Both level 1s and level 2s, even though I only plan on fitting level 2s right now. Not only that, I think this is going to be an excellent fleet for farming. Just use the auto brick, or not even auto, turn auto off, sit in a brick and just let them circle you and kill them. You're looking at, even at this, 1000 DPS. I get 2 more on here at Mark III, maybe. At Mark III, I can definitely fit 1 more. So I get 1 more on here. That's going to be pretty deadly. 1200 DPS, 2400 going out each side. That's definitely going to be more of a powerhouse when farming Xeno fleets in events, unknown reapers. It's going to give you an edge. So to take back what I said earlier, I would definitely get all of the level 2s. People are going to be wishing that they had, I think, in the future. Even if the blueprint weapon, the Xeno blueprint Rupture Beam comes out, I think people are still going to want these ones because they are easier to fit, less mass. And then damage resistance types is something that's kind of going to come into play too. Again, I think that they aren't going to be as powerful as the Hellfire was when it came out because we have the Punishers there. We have Hellfires that you're probably going to have a range disadvantage with this weapon. But I don't think it should necessarily scare anybody away from it either. Especially if you're just fighting Xeno fleets with it. And the thing is you're always going to lose. There's going to be guys that beat you. It happens to me. It happened to me this last Civil War. Sometimes I'm mad about it. There's a time and place for it, but it doesn't make it bad. It's just the philosophy used behind it. What are you using it for? What are you fighting with it? And how are you fighting what you're fighting with it? There's ways to get in, and I post other videos on that I'm planning on letting Patreon subscribers see. But it's something to consider, and I would definitely consider getting this weapon. Don't just pass it up because it's short range and it sucks. And you guys saw my test videos on the original Rupture Beam. This is not the original Rupture Beam. Same range, yes, but it has over twice the DPS. You're definitely getting a lot of damage out of this thing. So the opportunity costs are there. You just got to weigh them. Is it for you? Is it not for you? For me, I am actually fitting this to all of my Annihilators. That's probably what I'm going to be spending the next couple of weeks doing. I'm building another one for right now. When that one's done, I'm going to start refitting. So, yeah, by then, I'll have all the Mark III credits done too, which is kind of handy that they're going to line up like that. So, hope you guys enjoyed this little update. And, again, I will see you guys maybe again this weekend, maybe not, who knows. But, yeah, have a good event, guys.